Hi, Stella. Can you hear me? Wait a second, guys. I'm doing this on my laptop, so I want to make sure that my volume, you guys can hear me. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give a little bit to let some people, in. So I know this is gonna go on the stream, so I'm just going to say it as people come in. I'm not gonna stay on very long tonight. I have a pretty busy weekend ahead of me. Yeah, as you guys know, I'm getting prepared for school. So I have a lot of different things that I need to do. Thank you, Stella. Thank you. I have a lot of different things that I need to do to get prepped for September because that's when I will be starting school and be on my journey to being completely legit. So hopefully, my laptop will withstand this live because sometimes I know it gets bumped off because I don't know what's up with my Wi-Fi, but hopefully you guys will be able to. Hi, Wheeler Nathan. Hi, Kara. So, guys, I know people are gonna, pour in. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome one, welcome all. To anyone who is new to the channel, if you are new to this live, stick around. You may hear something that you need to know. Thank you so much. Yes, guys, I dyed my hair. After all that I said I would not do, I did. I ended up bleaching and dyeing my hair, and it's actually it's growing. It's growing on me. Um, but what I wanted to do, guys, because I know some of you may be new, some of you aren't. For those who are new, welcome to Narc Survival 101. It's your girl Erica here. Go through my content, go through the videos because I'm going to be revamping this entire platform. I'm going to be doing more videos, more content. We're going to be speaking more on female narcissists. We're going to be speaking on a lot of different things. But I did notice that people really wanted me to touch that subject, so I'm going to touch it even more. Okay, and if you find my content to be helpful in any way, hey, hit that subscribe button so that way you know when I put up a video, when I'm coming on live, and all this good stuff. So before we get into it, guys, I just want to make a few announcements. Number one, if you haven't already, please go check out my website, narcsurvival101.com. Sign up for the website, guys, because now I'm going to be doing giveaways. Okay. I don't know if some of you have already received my emails because for those who've subscribed to the website, I did send out emails with regards to giveaways. And I actually went into my narcsurvival101 at gmail.com and I also sent emails through there. So if you received my email, please go to the website, fill out the form, type in giveaway. I am going to start doing giveaways, guys. There's no purchase necessary. Okay. All you have to do is just put in your information. You'll get a raffle ticket. And then my upcoming live on TikTok, which you can find me at the @ symbol, Narc Survival 101. Join me on my live on Wednesday, August 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will announce who has been selected. Now, the giveaways, just to give you guys an idea, the giveaways will be some art pieces. These are, canvases that I personally painted, that Amanda personally painted. I'm not a professional artist, just so you know. But Amanda, can you just pass me one? I want to just give you guys an idea of the types of pieces that I would be giving away. So, these are going to be things for survivors. I want to give back to the community. I want to give back to people who have already had enough taken away from them. Okay, may not be too much, but it's something that's coming from me. And again, you don't have to purchase anything, you don't have to pay anything. This is just my way of saying I'm proud of you, my way of saying that you're doing a great job, and of course my way of just showing you love. So just to give you an example of some of the pieces, this is one that I haven't finished yet. Okay, I'm still working on it. But just so you can see, have an idea, these are some of the pieces that I've been working on. This is another one. As you can see, it's a really pretty butterfly. All right, and I'm gonna be, I'm gonna put some more stuff onto it, and I'm gonna, put my little signature on the back and just words of encouragement for you guys. So that way, when you wake up every day, when you're having a bad day or whatever the case may be, you look over at the picture, you'll see the affirmation on it, just to give yourself a reminder that, life can be beautiful. Okay. It really can be beautiful. But these are some of the pieces. I'm still working on some more. I want to try to do weekly giveaways, just to give you guys what you have given me, support, love, okay? And just you guys have really, really pushed me to go above and beyond, and I thank you so, so very much for it. There will be other things that I would be giving away in the near future as well, such as art tools, t-shirts, maybe some candles. These are all, it's just basically represented by therapeutic ways to get through your healing process. Okay, so definitely go to the website. Okay, www.narcsurvival101.com. Subscribe to the website, and also on the main page, you will see the giveaway. There is a timer on it, so definitely please sign up for it. I want to see you guys win. I want to see you guys, have something that is just handmade from me directly for you. Okay, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's something that I want to just, I want to do for the community. I want to just give back. Okay. Um, what else was I going to say? There was something else I had to say, but I can't remember what it is. I'm sure it'll come back to me. But this is just, the beginning of things, guys. Again, I'm going to be revamping up the platform. I know I've been talking about it for a while, and I've just been so busy. And now that I'm going back to school, it's just been a lot happening all at once. But I promise you guys, revamping everything. I'm going to be making more content, more videos. We're going to do this up, okay? We are going to make a tsunami of awareness. So please stick with me. Please be patient with me. And again, if you ever need me, you guys know where to find me. So don't ever think that I'm too busy for you. Sky Shay, thank you, Erica, for everything that you've done. I went back to school for nails. I'm just studying to get my license for nails. I've been healing, Erica, and I'm so happy. That is beautiful, and I'm so happy to hear that, Sky. I'm so, so happy to hear that. And guys, just so you know, I thought I was maybe too old to go back to school, but you're never too old. You're never too. You can broaden your horizons, man. Do all of the things that you never thought you could do. Just get up, get out there, and do them. Whatever makes you happy, whatever it is that you may not be perfect at it, but at the end of the day, it makes you happy. That's what's important. So, Sky, I'm so, so happy for you. Congratulations on it, and I wish you the best on it. Okay, definitely send me some photos because I do like to do my nails. I like to get my nails done, but I do like to do my nails, and maybe you can work on some nails and send them to me, and I can glue them on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it all works hand in hand, right? Hey Stella, you know something? And again, you're never too old. You're never too old to get up and get out there and do the things that you want to do. And don't let what people have, these people in your past, whether they're narcissistic or just toxic people in general, don't let them, convince you that you're not smart enough, or you're not abundant enough, that you don't have what it takes to do these things. You have that and more. Okay. And all that merely is if they ever put you down, all that merely was just pretty much projecting onto you what they see about themselves. So don't ever take it personal when they tell you, or if they tell you things that kind of, try to discourage you or dissuade you from doing what you want to do. Continue to do it, continue to move forward. And, it's all about you guys. Okay. It's all about you guys. Give me 1 second, guys. Just want to make sure I didn't forget anybody. Hi, Cicely. Hi, Lane. How are you? Okay. I just want to make sure I don't forget anybody. You guys know me. I don't like to forget anyone. So, guys, it is Friday. It is Friday. I hope you guys have a beautiful week, and even more beautiful weekend. I hope you guys are, you just got through this week on a positive note, and you're ending it on an even more positive note. I did my live on TikTok this past Tuesday, and there were a lot of people on there, and a lot of people just, looking for answers, looking to, just get a better understanding of what they're dealing with. And, some people who don't even know what they're dealing with, they happen to scroll online and boom, they come across my live, and they end up staying there because, and I noticed that a lot of people, tell me that I'm very knowledgeable with regards to what narcissistic abuse entails. And of course, given as I come to realize I've been dealing with narcissistic abuse for the majority of my life, it was just only until that recent breakup that I come to the terms of understanding, after going to therapy, that I suffer codependency, and I have been involved in relationships that I thought would fulfill me, I thought would, emotionally support me. And you just come to find out after dealing with a narcissistically abusive relationship that you are essentially, you're in search of something that you really didn't, you really didn't receive growing up at a young age. And it could be anything. It could be, love, affection, attention, emotional connection. And one of the points that I made on the live was, and I'm not knocking anyone's parents or saying that, people's parents are narcissists or they're narcissistic. I'm not saying any of that. But what I'm saying with regards to the type of relationships that we sustain throughout our lives is generally because we're in search of something. Okay? We're in search of something. And when you come across someone who is very charming, very, personable, very charismatic, and they give you that impression that they are a very, humble, very gracious type of person. It's very appealing. It's always appealing in the beginning because that's just simply how everyone is. They have to give a good first impression. But in the midst of your relationship, you start to notice certain things. And I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't really leave right away, especially people who suffer traumatic backgrounds. They don't really leave right away because there is a sense of familiarity within the dynamic. Okay. So if, for example, you grew up trying to get your parents' attention, get your mom or get your dad's attention, and you spent a lot of your life working too hard or doing the most just to be recognized, just to be, have that feeling of love and connection and just be a part of something. But you notice how if they, and then again, this is not everyone's parents, so I'm not knocking your parents, but if they pull away or if they act distant or they get cold or they're like in some cases detached, you notice there is a familiarity in within your romantic relationships. And in your romantic relationships, it's kind of like a trigger moment. It's kind of like it triggers you when you are dealing with someone who's a narcissist in your romantic relationship. When you're dealing with someone who is doing essentially the same things that people throughout your life have done to you, you find yourself trying to work even harder. It's like triggering that inner child. For anyone who has suffered codependency, you would know what I'm talking about, as far as growing up feeling like you were never good enough, growing up feeling as if anything you have ever done was not, was not ever good enough in the person with whom you were trying to impress or you were trying to get noticed by. It was never good enough in their eyes. So it pushed you, it prompted you to go even further and do more. That's exactly what a lot of you have done in your narcissistically abusive relationships. And the key to it is because you have to understand that the minute someone, and this is I think this is more or less with people in general, because I can't just limit it to narcissists, but when that other person sees that if they show you that, oh yeah, it's whatever, it's mediocre, or it's really not enough, or I've seen better, I've felt better, I've been with better. The minute they see that you're going to go out of your way to try to work harder and gain their approval even more, it's like, okay, I figured out the matrix. I figured out how to control this person. I figured out how to manipulate this person simply by giving them the impression that the things that they do, the way they are, what they say is pretty much on a stance of being mediocre. It's nothing special. It's nothing new. It's just, it's whatever. And if you've been, victim of that, because it's a really shitty thing for them to do, but at the end of the day, it is what they do. Understand that I strongly believe, and again, primarily for people who suffer codependency, I strongly believe that this is a trigger moment. It's kind of like that rejection wound or that, abandonment wound. It's like, okay, if I don't do better, if I don't do more, this person will abandon me. This person will reject me. This person will meet someone better, find someone better, or, go out there and be swept off their feet and leave me behind. So I must do better. I have to do better because I need this person's approval. And the fact of the matter was that you really didn't. You didn't need their approval. You didn't need you didn't need anything, to be honest. You didn't. You pretty much kind of pushed the need, and you took out the word want and pushed the word need, and it kind of became like a survival type of situation. Some of us probably have stayed longer than others. Some of us has probably gone back to toxic cycles, toxic patterns with the same person, people, or in different relationships. Oh, I'm sorry, give me 1 second, guys. Gucci, my lawyer wants me to attend court in a month. I don't have to testify, but he said it's best if I'm there. I'm gonna see this narc after 2.5 years. Something, you just gotta brace yourself, prepare yourself for it. You'd be amazed at how your feelings would come about if you're approaching the situation. After 2.5 years, no contact. I mean, listen, I can't say that you wouldn't have some form of feelings, and unless you haven't really done effective, therapy and healing within yourself and in your life, chances are, I can't even say that. I would just say you'd be amazed that you're not as traumatically, filled with anxiety as opposed to when you last encountered them. You know, given time, guys, given time when you have gone no contact with a narcissist, given time, trust and believe, that'll start to kind of wear off. Like the feelings and the emotional attachment and the anguish and the pain, that all begins to wear off. It all begins to just kind of chip away. And I always say out of sight, out of mind, because when that person is not around you, if you keep that person out of your sight, that person will eventually become very obsolete in your mind. And even though you may still think about the situation, you may think about the relationship and how things went down, it's not under the premise of I'm still emotionally attached to this person. I'm still, kind of stuck at the hip with this person and I don't know how to let go. You still do, which the key word is, and they mentioned, and someone mentioned this in my live this past week, rumination. You still do ruminate. You still do think about things. You can think about things 3 or 4 years later. It doesn't have to be the same, and in the way you think about things, compare it, from post discard, directly post discard to now, you 2, 3, 4, 5 years, no contact with this person or these people. And you'll notice the difference in how you see things and how you feel about things. Okay. When I was directly post discard, it was very traumatic, very painful for me. I just could not deal, I couldn't handle. But after a while, when I started to notice that over time, I'm thinking less and less and less of this person, even though I still do think about the things that have happened. I'm not thinking about them as much, and I'm not thinking about them from a place of emotional attachment, from being in pain, physical pain, emotional pain, mental torture. I'm not thinking of it that way. And that's how I figured, if I keep this person out of my sight, if I keep them out of my way, then I allow myself to really open up different opportunities for myself. I allow myself to open up the door of opportunity to heal. I allow myself to open up the door of opportunity to, fulfill certain things in my life that I never really had the opportunity or the chance to do. You allow yourself to do so much more than just sit in a dark room, heavily guarded, afraid of love, afraid of anyone even coming near you. So, this is why no contact is very effective if you do it properly. It's very effective because over time, yes, your wounds do begin to heal. And no, you do not get over it at all. I'm going to be honest with you. You don't get over it at all, but not in that sense of, OMG, I'm stuck on this and I can never live my life. You will always have the reminder. You will always have the memory of what has happened to you. And though you heal, though you go through the motions, as long as you do not allow it to control you or dominate your life or how you perceive other people or other relationships, then you know something, yeah, that's just going to basically be another scar. It's another battle scar. It's just another battle scar. Okay? And it's not something that's going to kill you. It's not something that's going to stop you from doing what you want to do or being where you want to be. I'm sorry. I'm gonna move this down. Give me 1 second. Um Gucci, I don't know if he's gonna be there. It's some application they filed to make me look bad, but we're yet to receive it. When we do, we'll go from there. No idea if he'll be there. I mean, all the better if he's not there. Because the last thing you really want to do is, you know, go off track or slightly veer in another direction. If it means him that he doesn't have to be there, but you can still effectively do what you need to do as far as the court system is concerned, then it's probably for the best, and it's just better off that way. But if you do have to face him, if he is there, if you have to see him, just remember that you have accomplished so much. You've come to a point where you can't look back. You can't turn back now. Okay? And that's another thing I want everyone to understand too. Anyone who, especially people who are new, who are passing through, maybe catching this on the stream, you understand something that when you make a choice, because at the end of the day, if you choose to no longer be an enabler, if you choose to no longer be a victim of a narcissist or of someone who's just completely manipulative and toxic, because that's pretty much in a nutshell what they are, there is no turning back on that. Meaning meaning you can physically go back. Well, some people do, but they will not let you forget that. And not only will they not let you forget it, they will make sure that you pay for attempting to walk away, attempting to, turn over a new leaf for your own life and get on with yourself. They will make sure of it. So if you make the decision to do what is healthiest and what is best for you, dealing with a narcissist, if you go back to that situation, I say there is no going back, but if you do, understand something. It will not be a fairy tale. It will not be something where it's the person has changed, they've realized the errors of their ways. You have inflicted narcissistic injury by rejecting them, meaning by going no contact, meaning by ignoring their calls, by ignoring their emails, their attempts to communicate with you. You you'll have a way worse discard, number one, because if you go back to a narcissist, better believe that is not going to last. Okay? And if you're familiar with the toxic pattern of breaking up to making up to break up to make up to break up to make up, that's toxic. That is toxic. You're familiar with that cyclical pattern of narcissistic abuse. Each and every time, if you've gone back to them, if you've noticed, it has gotten worse. Okay? It's all fine and dandy maybe the first couple of days, the first couple of weeks, however long they have to hold the mask up just to get you to trust them again. But then afterwards, boom, it's right back to you're going right back into the same patterns, into the same routine, going down the same road. Only this time, because you made an attempt to take control of your life and you made an attempt to make things happen for yourself, excluding the narcissist, you better believe because of that, they will be pissed off and they will make sure that what they do is shame you way worse than they did the first time. So if you have done, listen, I already knew when I started doing my content and I started doing things that, was pretty much putting a mirror to people's behaviors and people's actions and just pretty much their personalities. I already knew there was no going back for me. Okay, I already knew that. Regardless, there was no going back for me. But I already knew, because if ever the time had come, and listen, some people sit there and wonder. Some people could sit there and wonder and be like, I wonder if I were to go back. I already know for a fact, as far as I'm concerned, there is no going back for me. By personal choice, and of course, because of the length of, of everything that I have done. And, if I had to do it all over again, I would. I would. Because to expose the true nature of these people and to give you, the information that you need to help you with understanding what you have dealt with and understanding that you have options, you have choices. They wanted you to believe or think that you didn't. They didn't want you to believe you had choices. They didn't want you to think that you had better opportunity that's just waiting for you. And it's just a matter of you getting up and walking away. They did not want you to know that. They didn't want you to know any of that. In fact, they know for a fact that you can do better than them. They know that for a fact. Okay? They know for a fact that you can do better. And given the amount of love you have and empathy you have, anyone would be lucky to have you. But they know that they cannot sustain relationships. They can't hold commitments. They don't know responsibility. And you got to also think of it this way too. If a narcissistic individual, let's say they become a parent, they have a child, they're known for abandoning their children. Okay. You got to look at it that way too. They're known for abandoning their own children. If the children at a very young age, because the babies, the young toddlers, they can't fuel a narcissist's ego. They can't fuel those, give the narcissist the things that they want. So what do they end up doing with their children? They either end up, foisting their children off to other family members or other people who will take care of them, such as, maybe grandma, mom, dad, dad, whoever. They will end up pushing their kids to someone else and pushing their children to be someone else's responsibility, because this child can't do anything for me. This child cannot supply me my fuel that I need. They can't stroke my ego. And quite frankly, I am too, my life, I'm not ready to give my life up. I'm not ready to give up my freedom. I'm not ready to be a responsible parent. I don't want to do any of these things. So they push their children off to other people, or they just abandon their children in total. And I can't even begin to mention the third thing that they may do, which I'm sure a lot of you can already tell where I'm going with this. So often they will abandon their kids. Now, if their kids reach a certain age and they've reached a point that their children can be utilized as tools, that the children can be used as pawns, as weapons towards other people, or the children will basically, they're at an age where they can fuel the narcissist's ego, yes, they will keep the children around. But now they'll make the children compete with one another to earn their love. This is what a narcissistic parent does. So if they're like this with their own kids, the kids that they have, that they bore, the kids that they have helped to create, if they're like this with their own children, Let's not be too crazily surprised that they're like this with us in relationships. And we were complete strangers before we ever met them. Okay? I'm spending the night out in town, Erica, but I will try to come back. All right, Shade, no problem. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Hi, official. He has 6 children between 4 women and jumps from relationship to relationship, but is now being more manipulative. And you know what? People who are like this, people who do things like this, is because they have a myriad of enablers. Often people think that, well, these people get away with a lot. They get away with a lot. They don't get held accountable for their actions. They don't get caught. They always you gotta remember, listen, they are held accountable for their actions, but it's by their victims. It's not by the people who enable their bullshit or simply are on the same side of the spectrum as them. Okay? They're always held accountable, but it's by their victims. They don't take responsibility or accountability for their actions because their victims don't speak up on it. Now, and I'm going to reiterate this because I know I did a video in regards to the family members of a narcissist. And I said, do not worry about their family. Do not befriend any of their family members. Don't do it. I don't care how cool they are with you. Okay? Because the family members are the top enablers. Okay? Remember something, their narcissistic behaviors generated from somewhere. Okay? And in a family dynamic, you have enablers, and then you have, other toxic people, other fellow narcissists, or whatever personality disorder they're dealing with. Okay? Very rarely you'll have some black sheep. You'll have some people that are like, nope, I ain't with the shits. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not going there with you people. But when it boils down to it, okay, their top enablers are their family members. Their family members enable certain things because, number one, again, we know that it originated from somewhere. Number two, they don't want to deal with that person. They know what that person is about. They know what that person does. They don't want to deal with that. So why not let you be the punching bag? And if you stay, listen, I'm not saying curse them out and call them, out their name or whatever. I'm not saying any of that. But so as long as you stay in contact with anyone who knows the narcissistic person that you've dealt with, you better believe you're giving them some form of some way in. Some way in. They get away with a lot of stuff because a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse are too ashamed to speak up on it. They're too ashamed, they're too embarrassed. They just want to try to sweep it under the rug and forget about it. And the fact of the matter is that, so as long as people are like this, where they're sweeping things under the rug, they will continuously get away with these things. Because if you don't speak on it, okay, no matter how much stuff they said, people say, oh, you know what? Just ignore them. Just ignore them. You can ignore them, but speak your truth. Speak your truth. These are the kind of people who will try to destroy your life. They will call your job. They'll reach out to people any connections you have that may be beneficial to you as far as business is concerned, or anything to progress in life. They will try to get to those people before you ever get to them. They will try to literally tear you down and destroy you in front of other people. And then if you grow out of that relationship and you end up being a success, or you end up, doing the things that you've always wanted to do, you end up creating, and you end up just, gaining in life. If you don't allow them to be a part of that, they can become very vindictive. They can become very hurtful. They can become, very sadistic. Because not only are you moving on, you're moving on without them, you're becoming successful. And then on top of it, they're not even in the picture, so they can't even claim credit for it. I'm telling you guys, it's It's just it's crazy. Yes, I recommend. My ex's mom controlled her son and enabled his abusive ways. Usually, and again, when it comes to the parents of being enablers, they could have been very toxic people in the person's life, and now the enabling is coming about because the parents are already older, and they can't really do much with themselves. But at the end of the day, if their child does something wrong to you, this is how you know a parent is of toxic nature, whether enabling, whether being a narcissist or what have you. If their child does something hurtful and wrong to you and you bring it to their attention, they're often going to give you responses like, well, what did you do? What did you do to make my son or my daughter react this way? What did you say? Okay, I didn't raise my child to be this way, so it must have been something you did. You understand? That's how they would respond. They would respond in that way. Or if you bring it to their attention, they will act completely oblivious to what's going on. But they know what's going on. They know, they knew, trust and believe they knew, because when it boils down, especially if you're dealing with a narcissist that suffers codependency amongst their parents, when it boils down to it, that parent already knows. That parent knows. That parent knew the minute you got introduced to them. That parent knew. That parent knew that your relationship was doomed to fail. That parent knew that their child was going to do something to screw things up. And yet, they still have the audacity to flip it around because there's something to gain out of that. There's something to gain out of that situation, whatever it is. It could be money, it could be, it could be material things, it could be anything, but there's something to gain out of that situation. And any parent who knows that their child is doing things that, because they know right from wrong, any parent who knows that their child is doing things completely, against the grain of what is considered decent behavior, to sit there and say, oh, well, you must have done something. You must have said something. You must have. No, that's deflection. You're going to blame me for your child's bad behaviors. You're the one who raised them, not me. So how are you going to sit here and look at me like I'm the one who's been the problem? They already know. Because think about it this way too, guys. Before you came in the picture, their family knew about other people before you. They've met other people before you. They've had other people come into the picture and meet their family before you came into the picture. And it just so happens that every single relationship that they were dealing with, the other person was at fault and they weren't. And then the family, they don't say shit about it. They don't say anything about it because they know. But again, it's better you deal with it than them. It's better you deal with that person and their dysfunctional ways than they deal with it, because they don't have time for it. They don't want to deal with it. And these are people that would love to just push it off on the next person. But then what happens if or when you go through a discard period, whether you discard them or they discard you, and it comes to the point that you are not even involved anymore. You're no longer, and then they run out of supply. If there's no one else to fulfill your place to supply them, what do? They go back and take shit out on their family because they're the closest ones. They're the closest ones to that toxic person. So if you've ever had any family members reach out to you and say, "Oh, I know things happen this way and that way, but this person really misses you, and they really, they want to try to work things out with you," like they're just basically playing in the middle, trying to fix things and trying to, bring you two back together. It's probably because that person is making their lives a living hell. And it's better that you be their punching bag than them. It's better that you take the abuse. You deal with all of the nonsense than them. Okay. Oh, Salty, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Hi Sergio, I didn't even see you. Hold on one second. Why hold on one second. I'm sorry. Usually, why can't she see or admit her mom is so toxic? Often when you are dealing with someone who, because being a narcissist, they could be codependents too, guys. Okay, I know I talk about codependence and codependency, but being an ex codependent, I was pretty much an empathetic codependent. I was always a giver. I wasn't a taker. I'm a giver. But narcissists can be codependent as well. Okay, because codependency, it just doesn't fall on certain people. Narcissists, if anything, are codependent people. They are codependent people. They rely on people's resources for supply, money, any kind of financial gain, any kind of status, whatever it is that they can get. When you're dealing with someone who lives in denial about their own parental figures, that's usually, I could pretty much sum it to cognitive dissonance, where they are, like kind of blocking it out. Because when people are, traumatized, especially in childhood, they, part of coping is blocking. It's blocking out certain things. So even though they look at their, because they're still attached to their parent, they're still attached to their parent. When when we think about it and we say, okay, wait, your parent is extremely toxic, but you, for some reason, don't see it, or you don't want to see it, it's because they block out certain things, but they have a subconscious resentment towards their parents. So it's like, if your ex was, narcissistic, right? And their parent was a devout narcissist, and you sit there and you say something to criticize their parent, and they get very extremely defensive, that's because there's a level of codependency there. There's a severe codependent attachment there, that though they are subconsciously, they resent their parents, and their actions reflect that. So they're projecting their resentment onto other people rather than addressing the parents. As a child, and I know this personally because I've done it myself. As a child, you block out certain things. This became my coping mechanism. We as children develop coping mechanisms depending on how we're raised, the activities in our home, okay, our environment. We develop these to help us self-soothe, to help us get through the days, to help us get through the nights. I suffered insomnia at a very young age. I was an insomniac at like the age of 8, 9 years old. I could not sleep. Literally could not sleep. I had to try to force myself to sleep. But over time, over the years, I basically, and listen, I'm not saying that my home was filled with nothing but trauma and hatred and arguments and yelling and all that stuff. No. I also, you got to take into account my environment. I grew up in very bad neighborhoods. That was trauma all around me. But there were certain levels in my life when it came to emotionally connecting with my mom. I always wanted to emotionally connect with my mother, but my mother was raised a different way. Her mother was not emotionally connected with her. Her mother was very abusive towards her, physically abusive towards her, emotionally and psychologically abusive towards my mother. And though my mother was not like that with me in the same aspect of my grandmother and her, but yeah, I did get my ass kicked a few times. Okay, let's not forget that, because we all know what it is to get a whooping by the belt. a whooping by the shoe. We know that. My mom had moments where she would seem empathetic, she would seem connective, but it was very limited. It was very, very limited. And because of the fact that me and my mom's relationship was strained on an emotional level, I basically sought what I was looking for with my mom. I sought it out in my relationships. And I was trying to find that connection, trying to find that love, that emotional connection, because I had no doubt in my mind my mom loved me, but she did not know how to emotionally connect with me because her mother did not teach that to her. So again, we all have different relationships with our parents. We all have different environments, in which we've grown up. But, at the end of the day, what it all boils down to is, listen, we know right from wrong. So we know, if you see, if Amanda put $5 on the table and that was her money, if I take that $5 and put it in my pocket, that's stealing. That's wrong because it's not mine. She did not say I could have it. I did not ask her if I can have it. I just simply took it and put it into my pocket. That is wrong. I am aware of that. I'm aware that taking something that does not belong to me is wrong. And this is also where we have to, you got to set sturdy boundaries because people will use their trauma as an excuse. They will sit there and be like, oh, well, I was traumatized. That, no, no. You still know right from wrong. We all still know right from wrong. Personality disorder or not, we all know. And if you know right from wrong, you have a full conscious, you are clearly aware, you're coherent. And at the end of the day, I have every right to hold you accountable for everything you say, everything you do. What do they say in court? Everything you say or do used against you in a court of law. This is why I tell people all the time. Pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to what they tell you. Pay attention to how they say it to you. Okay? Pay attention to the tones. Pay attention to body language. Look at the body language. Okay? When they're talking like this, it's because they're holding something in. When they're talking like this, it's because they're expressing and they're giving. There are different types of body language. Let me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure. There are different types of body language that people use in which you need to study. You need to really do research on it and figure out what it is exactly that they mean. So when they speak, their body language may say something else. I'm not saying sit there and interrogate them. You don't have to interrogate people. You don't have to be police. But, at the end of the day, this is your heart we're talking about. This is your life, your mental health, your well-being. Okay? It's sad how people in these toxic family dynamics really believe that it's love. Enablers are truly doing those narcs a disservice. Let's talk about Neo. It's screen narc. You know, listen, that man, I love his music. I love his music, and but the thing is, as I hear, and I'm not one to gossip. I don't like to gossip. But as I hear, the chick he got with was the chick, and I don't know if it's true or not. The chick he got with was the chick that he left his wife for. His first one. His first baby mama? His first
chick he's with is married to?
Yeah.
Yes.
He left. So how you get him is how you lose him. And at the end of the day, listen, wrong is wrong. Neo was wrong for what he did, yes. But again, how you get him is how you lose him. You're going to be a side chick. You got to know the code. That's just the way it is. See, this is the thing that kills me. Because if someone's going to be a side chick, if someone's going to be a side piece to someone else's marriage or relationship and think, oh, okay, well, I took your man from you. You really thought that he been with this woman how many years? He left her for you, got you pregnant or whatever. You guys have kids. You really thought that, okay, that was it? Like your vagina is just, this is it? First of all, men are very primitive. And that's something that we got to understand. Okay, I'm not making excuses, but I'm going to tell you something. Narcissist or not, if you are taking on the role to being the other woman, okay, understand something. Understand something. Even though he put a ring on your finger, even though he put a seed inside of you and you had kids with him, even though you were still an adulteress, you were still messing with somebody who had someone else in their life. And that is what we call karma. And that's it. I won't make excuses for people because I'm sure Neo knew what he was doing too. He knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew that. And at the end of the day, I'm sure he's going to face the repercussions of his actions. But look at that. See? And his current wife had 3 by him, and he's been cheating unprotected and had a baby. How you get them is how you lose them. You see?
2 kids with his first wife. Well, I don't know if he was married to the first one.
And he made her tie her tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went on to have more kids with the next one. How you get them is how you lose them. And this is and the crazy part about it is that,
and she said the one he's married to now, she was gonna file for divorce. She threatened to file for divorce against him. And he was like, no, I'm gonna change, I'll do better.
Of course.
They renew their vows.
It was earlier in the year, in 21, 22, 21.
Recently.
They were going to separate earlier in the year, and then what happened?
Oh, I'll be better.
Of course.
And they just renewed their vows, and
boom. Find out that he got someone else pregnant. First of all, again, I love his music because I'm not going to even sit here and say he's not a talented person because he's very talented, and I can listen to his music all day. But my dude, you flying around here with no rubbers on. You know,
all these shows
we got COVID, we got monkeypox, we got STDs, STIs, we got, it's just so many different things flying around. And, again, she should have known better too. She should have known better too. Because if you're in a position to take someone's man or take someone's woman away from the person that they claim to love, well, it's not my fault that you can't fulfill this person's needs or do whatever, and you take on that role. Guess what? You take in the consequences that come with it.
I think she was getting text messages from chicks while she was
I'm sure.
talking about,
let me explain something to you. First and foremost, anybody who has a chance to trap a celebrity who is married will find any way possible to let the wife or husband know your man, your wife been sleeping around and I'm pregnant with their child. Okay?
Look at what's his name? Tristan Thompson.
I listen. And I advocate for women. I don't advocate for these little females who go out there thinking, oh, I'm bigger and better and badder, so let me go and I'm gonna, and you're just mad, you're hating, because no, you really thought that you were going to get a different version of the person that you literally, was cheating with. No. And I bet you his first baby moms is probably like,
better you than me.
You deal with that. I just got to deal with him when it comes to visitation and child support. That's it.
If he even does that. Because now that's what, 6 on his hands?
Hi, Robert. Yeah, no, I can't. I honestly, it's and listen, is he a narcissist? I can't sit here and say that he is. I can't say that he isn't because I don't know him. To determine if someone is a narcissist, you have to really observe the person. You have to observe behaviors. That's the whole point of therapists, observing you and, just diagnosing based on observation and based on clearly expertise. We can sit here and call people narcissist or whatever. because he could be great in all aspects of his life, but he's just, because exactly, if they cheat with you, they will cheat on you. And granted, his moves, what he did was very shitty. It was a very shitty move to do something like that. But at the end of the day, she knew what she was signing up for. Yeah, I don't go with the whole, oh well,
I'm
he's
different.
gonna be different with me.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be different with me. He's gonna change with me. Watch and you'll see. No, no, it doesn't work that way.
He might
Okay.
just give you a little bit more to please you, to keep you quiet and keep you
Listen,
occupied, but
that's why I don't go with all the hype. I really don't. Once a cheater, always one. Anyone true to themselves first will know better to avoid that and be grateful for what they have at home.
I think the only one that like sort of learned his lesson was Kevin Hart.
Yeah, especially if he almost lost his life, and he's just been through. He been through
Well, after
some.
getting caught, and I think maybe his wife really told him, like, you gonna lose everything.
Well, that's another thing.
You really gonna lose everything, and you gonna look like a whole fool.
Yeah, I can't. I find it hard to feel, empathy, sympathy. Actually, sympathy. I feel sympathy for the children.
Mhm.
That's what I feel, so sympathy for the children, because they're gonna be put in the mix of this nonsense. And hopefully her and him can resolve things as amicably as possible. But I can't. I don't feel sorry for her.
Well, for the fact that it's forever on the internet.
Of
The
course.
kids are gonna grow up knowing the way their father, what the father did to the mother. There's no
But
way
see,
the kid's
now
gonna.
here's the thing. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. When it boils down to, you know, it's more socially accepted. And that's the crazy thing about it. And I'm not knocking men. I'm not, saying that men ain't shit. I'm not saying any of that. But it's more socially accepted. Now, if it were the other way around and cheating, with several different men and being out there not using protection and doing all kinds of stuff,
Oh, she's home.
they would have
Trash.
dragged her name through the mud.
Mhm.
Like completely dragged her name through the mud. So it's gonna be that double standard based on
Well, he's a
society.
man. What do you expect from him? He's popular.
It's the tube time for me, just so he can end the engagement and marry someone else and has more children. Yeah, that clearly. And if you look at a lot of today's people and you look at how they treat people and how they are in their relationships, that clearly shows that there is some background there, that because remember, our children, when they go out into the world, they're a reflection of us. They're a reflection of how we raise them, how we construct in their lives, the structure in their lives. And at the end of the day, when you have people who are in a position of power, who have money, who have status, it gets to their head. It really gets to their head. And they allow that to really gas them up to the point where they're thinking, I'm God. That's God complex.
So let me ask you this: do you think Jennifer Lopez is a narcissist? Because now they're like talking about how Ben Affleck is crying and he's having like a mental breakdown and all this
I
stuff.
think she's a narcissistic codependent. I think she's a narcissistic codependent. I
Because
think,
they were like there was an ambulance at his house before they went to get married, and
first and foremost, like I
he
said,
looks miserable now.
when it comes to, and let me explain something here, guys, because people think because I'm Puerto Rican, it's like I pledge allegiance to Jennifer Lopez. It don't work that way, okay? I don't, I don't even really watch her movie. When did we watch that? That was like
Marry Me, the
we
Marry
that
Me.
was the most. I don't even watch her movies.
It was so awkward when it came out.
I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of J Lo. I mean, I'm not saying she's a bad person or anything like that, but she clearly, one, wants to stay relevant. Two, It's just you don't give yourself time. It's like relationship. It's like one after the other after the other. You know, a lot of today's celebrities are narcissistic. If they're not complete narcissists, they're narcissistic. But yeah, Kara, I'm sorry, but I have to call it as I see it. And she loves the limelight. She loves the attention. She loves, being in she just loves being in the spotlight. And she's definitely got codependency. There is definitely codependent. If I'm not mistaken, I think she was raised only by her mom.
Yes, because her parents got separated.
So, and she grew up in the Bronx, bro.
She has definite daddy issues.
Of course. Which is why she's trying to more than likely, find her father in these relationships. She's trying to find the love because it's like that. It's that rejection wound. It's a rejection wound. Most young women who have been abandoned by their fathers or have a very like estranged relationship with their fathers, they have that rejection wound. They have that abandonment wound. So
Stella points out she overlaps all her men. She's never alone.
No, that's codependency. That's codependency. You could be beautiful, have all the money in the world. If it were me, I'm like, look, but she doesn't want to come to terms with that. And the whole thing with Ben Affleck, first of all, I really prefer Ben Affleck to have been with Jennifer Garner because she really kept him. She kept him grounded. But it's that classic case of.
She really got sick of him.
Probably, but that's what I'm saying. It's that classic case of you're too vanilla for me. You're too boring for me. And I need some toxicity, excitement in my life. You're too vanilla. When we become too vanilla, guys, we become too mediocre in their eyes. It's just boring. It's stale. It's just not. It doesn't do anything for me anymore. So they go out there and end up being with the kind of females that represent the toxicity. And then what happens? Just what he's doing. He's sitting there fucking crying.
Now she's probably demanding a whole bunch of shit from her men.
What happened? You know something? The first time they got engaged, the whole prenup, that was the big thing. The whole prenup. He has to have sex with her 4 or 5 times a week. It has to be this. It has to be that.
Now,
you
was
can't
that
do.
Him asking all that?
It was her.
Her asking.
She had clauses in those in
she
that
was
prenup.
asking for all that?
It was crazy. And I'm like, it's just like the different clauses in the agreement. And it's just.
I wonder what it is now, because he was young enough to give it to her then.
Kiara, I love vanilla. You know something? But that's a term that people would use for people like us, where it's, we're homebodies. We're the kind of people who don't go out there and do extravagant lifestyles, and we're not trying to be in the limelight like that. We're just trying to live a simple life and just enjoy the time and have stability and things like that. But they would refer to us as vanilla. But I think that's what he did with his marriage. But that whole thing with him and J-Lo did not work out for a reason the first time. And now if you see his face, man, I saw one of the shorts when she was getting ready for her wedding.
He looked freaking miserable.
She's in this glamorous changing room. He's in a freaking bathroom.
He looks like he has a hangover.
He was in the men's room, in a men's bathroom. Like, he's like, this is my changing room. And not even the mirror wasn't even clean. It looked like it was written on and everything. I'm like,
yeah, because it's probably like she was treating him like a good boyfriend. Now she's like, all right, I got you where I need you. Now you're my bellboy type.
She's been married 4 times. I couldn't even keep up. She had more relationships than we did presidents, I think, because I can't
even. Married, and she had like 3 boyfriends that, like, she had A-Rod as an engagement. She had that dancer guy, Casper.
My son has the Thanos hand with all the stones on it.
Stones, yeah. She's gonna be the next Elizabeth Taylor.
I don't know, man. And she's got kids, bro. She has kids. What example is she setting for her daughter? What is she setting for her son? It's like,
let's talk about her tripping her kids out. Then you got the father who's dating 20-something-year-olds. Mark Anthony, who's dating 20-something-year-olds. He's gonna start dating. He's gonna be dating the same age children.
Who, Mark Anthony?
Yeah, he's engaged to a 20-something-year-old Miss what's uh what's her name? Oh my god, she was in Miss Universe last year.
I know. I don't know.
She was runner up, but she's like 23 years old.
This is what codependency looks like. Mark Anthony is he's just probably trying to be young. I mean, I love Mark Anthony. Don't get me wrong. I love his music.
What's gonna happen when his daughter's 20 years old and he's engaged to a 20-year-old?
How isn't Mark Anthony like 70 years old?
He's like almost 60.
Okay.
What's gonna happen?
She got plenty of time.
What's gonna happen when he's gonna be the next Julio Iglesias?
Well, she's gonna be with a 60-year-old. Her mom's gonna be like, "Did he got money? He's good. He can support you. He's all right." It's too much. It's too much. And if celebrities don't like us talking about them, then they need to stop putting their shit out there. That's the way I see it. Sergio, FYI, my ex got denied again in court. She's 0 to 5. She wanted to take away our son. She wanted me to pay her attorney fees, $15,000. Also denied. Karma. I'm telling you guys, just stick with what you do. Stick in your truth. Stick with your boundaries. And better believe God has your back. God has your back. Okay? These people won't get away with. They won't get away with the things that they do. Trust. Kara goes, leave Jenny on the block alone. I mean, she's living up to her nickname around the And listen, I don't know her personally, and I can't sit here and say she's a bad person. I don't know, but I can say that her level of life, her lifestyle, which is constantly exposed, constantly put out there, because what is she doing? The minute she gets into a relationship with someone, she does what a lot of people on social media do. She puts her information, she puts her business out there. So when people say, listen, you got some serious codependency issues, you need to get that checked out. Everybody's a hater. People don't understand our love.
She broke up her engagement with Alex Rodriguez and was with Ben Affleck 3 days later.
Because that was who she really wanted to be with. She was basically just kind of going through, maybe, I don't know, that breakup, Well, first of all, let me explain a little something here, okay? I saw a couple of pictures on the internet, of course. I don't know if it's true or not, but hey, you know how they have like those little tawdry pictures of celebrities and stuff? He was packing.
Who?
Ben Affleck.
Okay.
People get dignitized. Okay. So it's not necessarily love.
So why he crying?
She probably putting him through. So she's Latina. She's Puerto Rican.
Well, if he packing,
she's putting him through something.
He can take his banana and go somewhere else.
Erica, do they try to return when you go no contact, even with a new supply? Often they do. And it's to pretty much make sure that you are going to be readily available when they decide to discard that new supply. When they decide to say, okay, this is boring me, I don't want it anymore, we'll go back over here. And it may not happen. I can't say it will happen, but often they do. Yeah, I'm this is why I stay single, guys. This is why I stay single, and hopefully you guys, if you're single and you're happy, because it's just, that's just the way, I guess that's the way, maybe it's meant to be for some of us. But what are you doing? Huh? To your nose, you don't need to take the test, baby. I'm sorry, your nose is fine. You're fine. What do you need? Your mustache? Yes, you're growing your mustache. Oh, my son is hilarious. Gotta love him. But yeah, guys, just keep in mind, narcissists can be codependents. Narcissists are codependents. Okay, it just depends on what scale, where on the scale they are. Okay, and if you really think about it, they're extreme codependents because they rely on the supply to sustain themselves. They can't even fulfill themselves. They can't love themselves properly. This is a prime example of going out there into the world, putting on this false mask of I'm confident, I'm beautiful, I'm handsome, I'm sexy, I'm appealing, I'm this, I'm that. But the reality of it is they're completely insecure, codependent people, which is why I don't get too hyped when it comes to celebrities. I don't, and with everybody exposing themselves, for the world to see, like really exposing themselves, it just goes to show that a lot of them are just so damn overrated. Overrated. Oh yeah, P Diddy is he's a whole nother topic we'll definitely discuss. I think I should do that. Like do like
You should do a list of
a list of celebrities. I think we'll do that. Maybe
narcissists,
soon. We'll do
narcissist or not narcissist.
like narcissist, sociopath, or psychopath. Which one? Or borderline. I'm gonna add borderline to it too because there are quite a few people who can always be added to that list. But guys, again, again, before I go to the website, please, narcsurvival101.com. Okay, sign up for the website. Then go for the giveaway. So that way, when I announce for the giveaway on Wednesday, August 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my TikTok at narcsurvival101. I'm going to be doing this. This giveaway is going to be an art giveaway. Okay. So I'm giving out art in case anybody who's just now joining. This is just an idea of a couple of the pieces. I have not finished them yet, but I'm going to be doing the art giveaways. I'm going to be doing different types of giveaways. And again, this is my way of giving back to the community, giving back to you guys the best way I can, the best way I know how. All right. It's a way to show that I care about you guys. I'm proud of you guys. I think that what you guys are doing with yourselves is just awesome because it takes a lot of strength to do what you guys are doing. And I just want you guys to be reminded every single day that you got this. You got this. All right. So I'm trying to figure out ways to do giveaways and, in which it represents therapeutic. Yeah, I definitely therapeutic healing. Okay. And again, the giveaways will include art pieces, art tools, like maybe a couple of canvases, some paint, some brushes, so you guys can, do painting, which I find this to be very therapeutic. Yeah, I was watching Bob Ross yesterday because I'm really gonna get better at this. Okay, I'm multifaceted. I like to do different things. Also t-shirts. I might get some t-shirts so I can give them away to you guys. Just some nice, graphic tees. Some candles. I'm looking into doing candle making. Maybe make you guys some nice candles with some nice scents. Just anything to help you guys get along in your journey. Okay. Whether you're new to the channel, whether you have been an existing subscriber for however long I've been up, I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to get back. I'm just trying to get back.
24th makes 3 years for this channel.
24th makes 3 years for me. Not bad. Not bad. And I still can't do a damn intro. I swear I can't do an intro for the life of me. I'm just like, okay, you guys know me, I know you. Let's just get it on. Not get it on, but let's get on with it. You know what I'm saying? Oh no. Stella P. Diddy was dating his son's ex-girlfriend. I believe it. I believe it. I could definitely believe it. I believe don't let nothing, you can't just, I don't let nothing get past me anymore. Nothing just surprises me anymore. So I definitely believe it. But we'll talk more about it next week, guys. Hopefully I'll get to see you guys on the TikTok live on Wednesday, August 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Narc Survival 101. and hopefully you guys will register. The deadline to register for the giveaway is Tuesday, August 23rd by midnight Eastern Standard Time, okay? Because then I'm going to shut it down and I'll do the drawing on Wednesday. So hopefully you guys will sign up for it, join. Let's make it, try to make it as fun as possible. We gotta get something out of this experience, okay, guys? Something. All right, something. Any little bit counts. Any little bit counts. So definitely join me there, guys. And wish me luck because I have to go for a couple of vaccination shots this weekend for going back to school. And I don't like needles. So
No school.
no school for you. It's school for mommy, not for you. What are you doing?
What you do, bud?
Did you just take a COVID test? Did you take a COVID test? Is that what you did? I love this little boy. I love you. You know that? I love you so much. You just want to stick something up your nose, don't you? Yes, your mustache is growing. Your mustache is growing, which lets mommy know that I'm getting old. You're a grown-up. Yes, you are. Yes, you are a grown-up. Oh my gosh. He's amazing, guys. He is amazing. But yes, guys, thank you so very much for being here with me tonight. And for those who couldn't make it, I'm sure you'll catch it on the stream. Anyone who is new to the channel, yes, this is me. This is my personality. This is who I am. And no, I don't have a mental disorder. At least I don't think I do. At least I don't think I do. I don't know. I gotta check. Maybe. Who knows? Who cares? It is what it is, right? But guys, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Thank you so much for showing your love. Thank you. You did take the COVID test.
He did. He knows how to do it.
You took the...
He did it.
My son is too much.
Good job, Bubba. He did it right.
He don't go nowhere, so why is he taking a COVID
But
test?
for the fact that he knows how to do it, though.
Yeah. He's too much.
You're grown up, that's
Beautiful
right.
people.
You know how to take a COVID
Yeah.
test.
Beautiful people, thank you so much for being here tonight. I wish you all a beautiful night, a beautiful weekend, and I will be back here next week, Friday, Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock, as usual, and we'll talk about the next giveaway. All right, so join up, guys. So I really want you guys to win some cool stuff. Again, this is my way of saying thank you. I appreciate you. Love you guys. You're amazing. You're awesome people. You deserve better in life. You deserve the best in life. And that's not just coming as some cliche. It's actually the truth. You deserve way more. Okay? So, guys, have a beautiful remainder of your night. I will see you all next week. And love, peace, blessings, protection, all that good stuff. You guys are awesome. Have a good night. Bye.